Минулого тижня світова українська громада відзначувала трагедію штучно створеного Голодомору в Україні в 32-му і 33-му роках. Українці по цілому світі вшановували пам'ять невинних жертв Голодомору по цілій Україні та по різних містах поселення в численних країнах світу.
Вічна їм пам'ять, вічна їм пам'ять, вічна їм пам'ять. Царство їм небесне, і нехай спочивають з Богом. Амінь.
Today we join Ukrainian communities in Canada and around the world to remember the millions of innocent victims who suffered or lost their lives during the Holodomor. For far too long, the atrocities of the Holodomor were hidden from the world and outright denied. Today it falls to each and every one of us to ensure that this dark chapter in history is not forgotten, and to continue to defend human rights and democracy when they come under threat. I also reaffirm Canada's steadfast commitment to support Ukraine's sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity. Vічна їм пам'ять, signed Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. During the height of the Holodomor, 19 people per minute, 1,200 per hour, and 28,000 per day were dying of famine. The world was silent. Millions died as a result. Моя баба Олена була свідком Голодомору, і вона мені раз сказала, що вона бажала, щоб ті, котрі померли під час Голодомору, що ми не тільки їх запам'ятали, але вшанували. Let us do as my grandmother would have asked if she were here today. Let us remember the victims, let us commemorate the victims, and let us honor them. Вічна їм пам'ять.
Well, good afternoon, and I'm very privileged to be here once again this year together with the Reverend Fathers and with my colleagues in elected life, and of course, and most of all, with Mr. Mykola Latyshko, a Holodomor survivor, and many others who are here to commemorate this solemn day. And so I want to thank everybody for being part of the team that brought together this monument. How magnificent it is to be able to stand here and to be able to be here year after year and for many, many years and generations to come. And today, we all stand together to say that the Holodomor was completely unacceptable, was a tragedy that affects everybody in the world, past and present, and that we will do everything we can to stop this kind of thing from ever happening again in Ukraine or anywhere else. Slava Ukraini. Thank you.
It is widely acknowledged that through the Great Famine, mastered and executed by Kremlin, the Soviet power planned the final solution of the Ukrainian national question, to get rid of those who did not accept the Bolsheviks' rule, who wanted to work on their land, to have their own culture, language, their faith, their own identity. We also express our gratitude to Canada for its outstanding role to be among the first in the world in recognizing Holodomor as the genocide of the Ukrainian people.
Just as Soviet leader Joseph Stalin saw in Ukraine an existential threat, Vladimir Putin sees it the same today. Stalin launched his assault on Ukraine because he knew that Ukraine was resistant to centralized rule, that Ukrainians were attached to their land and their traditions, and that Ukrainians could challenge Bolshevism and even cause it to collapse. Putin's regime, as did Stalin's, cynically denies the very existence of a distinct Ukrainian people. Dear friends, Ukraine today is under military, economic, and political attack by the Putin regime. Today's Russia has amassed approximately 100,000 troops on Ukraine's border, threatening to pounce like it did in 2014, occupying Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula and parts of eastern Ukraine. We call upon Canada and the international community to stop Russia's military aggression and ethnocide against the Ukrainian people.
Growing up in Toronto, in the crucible of the Ukrainian Canadian community, I knew nothing of the Holodomor. It was not spoken about. In time, the survivors began to share their stories, one at a time, cautiously, fearing that no one would believe them and fearing reprisals from a tyrannical state which wrought this horror upon them and their loved ones, a state with long tentacles extending into the heart of our community. Закликаємо дітей, внуків і правнуків наших свідків долучатися до мережі нащадків Голодомору та додати свій голос до поширення історій своїх родичів. Це наш обов'язок перед жертвами, свідками та нашим народом. May the memory of the victims be eternal. Вічна пам'ять.
At this time, I would like to call upon a very special guest to join us at the front. Mr. Mykola Latyshko is a Holodomor survivor who will share his message on behalf of all victims who have perished during 1932-33 Holodomor and those who have survived to teach and raise the next generation.
Сьогодні ми прослужили панахиду по жертвах Голодомору, геноциду. Мільйони померли. І все це через ту прокляту комуністичну владу, яка поневолювала і далі хоче поневолити Україну, зробити її рабами. Я вірю, кінчаючи, що Божа правда все переможе. Вічна їм всім пам'ять, а всім тим, які вижили, survivors, I wish you all the best.
The girl in the statue holds on to 5 stalks of wheat. You were all given 5 stalks to take home and pay homage to the millions of lost souls. May God bless all the families touched by the Holodomor. Que Dieu bénisse toutes les familles touchées par le Holodomor. Вечная память, memory eternal. God bless Canada. Slava Ukraini.